5-star shout out.
I'm not gonna say it because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in. You can't make a. You know what I'm talking about.
Good morning. How y'all doing? What's up out there? Looking at your boy Dennis Holmes in the building. The Ignorant Thinker Podcast in the building. On the Side Jawn. Early Saturday morning. As we usually do. Chocolate Girl ain't here, but I know she's going to be coming around soon. Trust me. She's going to be coming around the mountain when she comes. All right? Now y'all know she's going to be coming around the mountain when she comes. But listen, we got a Puttin on the Pod series going on. And I want to introduce y'all to Ryan, the historian from the Birdcage LLC. All right, I ain't got no hand claps, so goddamn, you clapping it.
Appreciate it. What's going on, brother? What's happening?
Hey, man, listen. Things you've been doing in podcasting, interviews you have been getting. You know, I've got to know you through Ron Thomas. Got to give a shout out to Ron because he introduced us.
Shout out Ron, big Ron.
You know what I mean? Had no idea you was right here in Philly. I still owe you a drink. As soon as I get a day off, I owe you a drink.
We got it.
We always start the show off with, how was your week? So how was your week?
Man, anytime you can wake up on the right side of the dirt, it's always a great week, my brother. Always.
Okay. That's good. Well, my week, on the other hand, I've been working day and night, like that Michael Jackson song. working. I'm trying to tell you,
day and night.
been working. That's all I've been doing is been working. I'm definitely, happy to be in a position to make this money and do things that I want to do. I'm happy that I can be able to work and not overstress myself at this point in time, because this is usually like a stressful time around this time. Because you just got finished with that Christmas, and now you trying to catch up to them bills. I'm doing pretty good. You know what I mean? I'm doing pretty good.
It's always good to hear.
But on the other hand, people want to know the Birdcage LLC. You know what I mean? Tell me what went into you getting this podcast together.
Well, what started it was, my love of sports always, but I was a guest on someone's show. I was just out in the crowd, just wanting to just talk Falcons football. I'm a diehard Atlanta Falcon fan. But let's just say this here. I pretty much got the treatment when I cooked the guy on his own show. I was talking about facts. He disagreed with me, and it was just a negative experience. And he pretty much just took me off the screen because his crowd was starting to really kind of take my side in the show. And I wasn't doing that to show him up. It was just the fact that if we're going to talk sports, we got to talk facts. We can't talk about emotion, and you can't speak with feelings when you're talking facts. Now, I get we're passionate fans about our sports, and you love your team, but you got to be honest about your squad. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't like it. He ended up booting me. Didn't like how it happened, and there was another gentleman. Shout out to my boy, Big Marcus Washington, on the Mark. He's got his podcast on YouTube. He was the one who opened the door for me on his show, and he started letting me come on, and he started letting me cook a little bit. And then he was like, hey, man, you need to go ahead and open the door and do it. And I was like, I'm not really thinking about it. Then my girlfriend, Miss Tamika Scarborough, shout out to North Philly's on 24th from Montgomery, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Philly. She's from North Philly. That's my girl right there. And she was really one of the biggest helps that I had with the show when I first got it started. I was doing, little stuff on Facebook here and there, but she said, look, why don't you take this? I want to invest into what you're doing. I'm like, nah, I don't know what I'm doing. She says, no, listen, I get your LLC. Just a gift for me graduating college. That was really what it was going to be. And bought me the LLC, pretty much told me, hey, do your thing. I started from a cell phone to moving up from a cell phone to getting the computer, equipment, my parents. And it's so many people that got me started. And I can't even get them, you know, my Magnificent Birdcage crew. The original OGs of this was my man Glenn Graybeard. He was the first one that was on the scene with me when we were just doing the phones, and then K-Dub came. And it was us three, and then we started adding pieces from Scoop to Coach Brandt, Melton, and Turbo. And it was just one of those things to where it was a collaboration of people just believing, I guess, in what I could do. And me, I just love history anyway. I'm a history buff. So sports and history go hand in hand for me. But that was how it got started, man. You know, just starting off on Facebook and then getting on YouTube. It was an amazing transition, and not knowing. I just wanted to talk. It's kind of like how NWA was. They just wanted to make music for the neighborhood, right? I just wanted to make sports talk for Falcon fans. I didn't know it was gonna get like this, bro. No lie.
I'm gonna tell y'all Falcon fans, I have met y'all Falcon fans on a couple of different occasions. I went to ATL a couple years back when the Eagles played the Falcons at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I went down there and I was there, me, I'm talking my trash. Anybody know me, they know I'm talking trash. I'm there, I'm talking trash. It's all friendly though. It's not no I want to fight trash. This is friendly trash. You know, your team ain't us, that type of trash. You know what I mean? Friendly trash. You know what I mean? We still get together, get drinks and everything. I'm talking that trash, man. They was letting me have it in that first quarter, boy. I'm telling you. They was giving me the business. I got I tried to get as much video as possible, man. There's a couple of fans out there, and I gotta give a shout out to Sonic, because Sonic told me what section to sit in to see all these crazy fans, and woo! They gave me I'm not gonna lie. First quarter they gave me the business. But after y'all started losing, I started to feel a little bit more confident. And I was like, yeah. You know what I mean? We was in there though, man. I gotta admit, we was in there. And I was wondering why we was in there so deep until I really paid attention. Ticket prices for Atlanta Falcons game in Atlanta is a great ticket price. Like, everybody always say, oh no, I can't wait to play Atlanta. I hope we got a home game. I hope we play Atlanta at their house, because it's much cheaper than playing at our house. Like, everybody say it.
Yeah.
I thought it was just me as an Eagles fan say. I heard Cowboy fans say it. I've heard Steelers fans say it. Like, no, I'd rather play in Atlanta. It's cheaper. It's literally, you could buy the ticket, the plane ticket, and the hotel. All right, you get all of that for the same price you would pay for an Eagles game at the crib. Same seats too. Just want to let you know, the same seats.
That's crazy.
I'm just letting you know. So, Atlanta Falcon fans, I got nothing but love for Atlanta Falcon fans. Hospitality has always been good. Every time I go to Atlanta, shout out to my girl, Elise, ACJ is what I call her, from the Sweet Love, from the Sweet Love TMA podcast. All right. She is the A in the TMA of Sweet Love. But she's the one that introduced me to Atlanta. I always got to give her that. She told me to come to Atlanta. I was going to like it. She wasn't lying. I fell in love with it since I went down there. I think it was 2013 was my first time in Atlanta. And that was when Pacquiao fought Manuel Marquez and got knocked out in the ring. I was in Magic City watching that on that big screen.
See, you was in Magic City.
I was
defending this country on a Coast Guard cutter up in Kodiak, Alaska, watching that fight. You know what I'm saying? So, at the time I was in the military when that fight took over, man. 2013, and it was cold outside that day.
Yeah, it was cold. It was cold. And it's crazy because I told people I was going to Magic City. So I guess I must have met one of the bouncers from Magic City, earlier that day while I was out eating breakfast at the Waffle House. And he was like, yeah, well, they was just shooting up there yesterday. I was like, damn. like I'm a new guy. Right? He said, yeah, you be all right. They were shooting us, but you be all right. You be all right.
It's typical behavior. It's what it is.
That's what he was trying to make it seem like. Yeah, they were shooting yesterday, but you be all right. Like, damn. I still went though. I ain't care. I was going. I had to see it for myself. Magic City is as advertised. Now, why is it so small in there? I have no idea. For the amount of love that Magic City gets, you would think it was big as a Walmart, but it's just as big as your regular corner store. I want to let everybody know that whoever been to Magic City, all right? It's about as big as your corner
some of the
store.
best food you ever have too up in there.
I ain't had no food there yet. I had a couple drinks.
Oh man, you cheated
food.
yourself. You cheated yourself,
at the time,
man.
I ain't gonna lie to you. At the time, I was one of them. I ain't doing titties and tater tots type guy.
Hey man, you gotta get the wings, bro. Not the wings, the wings.
The
That's what I'm
wings,
saying.
yeah.
Gotta get them wings, dog.
I was thinking the wings came with an STD. It's nothing but coochie out there. That's what I was thinking.
I'm gonna give you this. When you have businessmen and politicians that go in there for lunch specials, that should tell you something.
Yeah,
we talking about guys that you would see on CNBC or NBC and places like that, or CNN, and they're right up in there. Think about it. They're eating lunch like it's no tomorrow, like it's just a regular day. Just saying.
I had no idea. I had no idea so many people go there for the day shift.
Yo, people go get the food up in there. I mean, everybody already knows why you go up in there, but when you talk about the food, man, that's a shout out to Mr. Magic, man. You know, I only met him once.
Mr. Magic he's from Jersey. Did not know that. He's from Camden, New Jersey. I said, get the hell out of here.
Hey man, shout out to Mr. Magic. Man.
Also a former football player.
Yeah.
Had no idea about that.
So it's a picture that was viral. I don't know if you got to see now. Cornelius Bennett is a Christian man. You know, he done changed his life. But there's a picture with Cornelius Bennett, Deion Sanders, Otis Nixon, Eric Davis, who used to play for the Cincinnati Reds, Andre Rison, like all those guys went up in there. And then, matter of fact, your boy Lincoln Kennedy. He told a story on the interview that we did with him or whatnot a while ago when he was a first round pick out of Washington. Andre Rison took him from the airport straight to Magic City before they went to Sewanee. They used to have the old training camp in Sewanee, Georgia. So he took him there before he went there. Deion Sanders was there, Jesse Tuggle, Andre Rison, who took him there. And Prime was sitting right up in there. Them boys getting ready to go to training camp, and they up in Magic City first. Hey, that's how they used to get down back in the day.
And they look like they used to have a good time, man. They like used to have a good time. And I ain't mad at them, man. I ain't mad at them at all. But yeah, Magic City was my first introduction to ATL. Now you're from ATL. Let me hear your first introduction to Philadelphia. I got to hear this one.
So originally, I'm from Atlanta, southwest side of the city, Ben Hill. Like I said, my parents didn't work out, so I had to move from Atlanta to Jacksonville, Florida. So I was in Duval. So again, grew up in between Atlanta and Jacksonville, Florida coming up. And again, I got to see different things. And the way that I got to Philly was through the military. Like I said, I joined the U.S. Coast Guard 2011, flew into Philly, went to Cape May for boot camp, left Philly, didn't think I was ever going to come back here. And I was trying to get to Houston or San Diego that was on my pick list. I was pissed when they told me I was coming to Philly, bro. That was not even a top pick. I'm going to be honest with you. My first, I had cold weather duty stations, my first two duty stations. Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and then Kodiak, Alaska. I wanted some sun. I wanted some heat. I wanted Houston or San Diego. So you can understand that. And I was a priority one, which means you're supposed to get you get what you put in. You get that before everybody else. Damn detailer bumped me out of my billet and said, "No, we're going to send you to Philly." I was pissed. And then when I got here, me being Braves fan, Atlanta sports fan and everything else, I came here, I knew the reputation. And I said, I'm an SEC fan first. So I'm used to getting in scuffles and arguments and, and I was expecting that. Like, here's the thing I'll say about Philly. When you come here and you show respect, they give respect and they show love here in Philly. Philly gets a bad rep because of the sports fans and then some of the stuff that goes on in the streets. Look, it's bad everywhere you go. Streets are the streets, and life is what it is. But Philly is one of the most welcoming cities if you show respect and you show up in here. Truthfully, y'all are more hospitable than New York, and that's real talk. And New York is okay or whatnot, but Philly is a place that y'all show love here. I found that out from day one. Y'all show love. Very, very, very great conversationalists when it comes to not just sports, but also what goes on in society and things that go on. And it doesn't matter. It's a big melting pot here in Philly. And it's one of the coolest places that I've lived. And I've been here since 2015. I only went home. Yeah, I went home for about 6 months or whatnot after I got out of the service, came back, got a job up here. And I've been here since 2015. Now I'm trying to move now. I love it. I've had my taste of it, but I'm trying to get more bang for my buck because, cost of living is high. But Philly is one of these places where it's one of the cities where if you have never visited, you need to visit when they have events going on, festivals going on, and it's just an amazing place to at least spend some time of your life in because it's a lot of good things up here. A lot of people, Philly get a bad rap, and truthfully, Philly is a cool place to visit. If you live here temporarily, it's a place that's dope. I'll be honest with you on that.
What's one of the places that you went to? I want to say in Philadelphia that you was really excited about, and it surprised you.
Max's over in North Philly. Max's. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie, fam. Like, a lot of the cats that I knew that was in the service with me, I met some cats that was from Philly, and then even the white boys that I was cool with, they actually would come to North Philly and go to Max. They was like, yo, stay the hell away from Geno's and Pat's. They are tourist traps. They are not, and these local cats, they were like, they haven't been the same since the management changed because they used to be good back in the 80s and the 70s, but they were like, man, that's all, it's all changed. Max's was the best cheesesteak spot that I went to. And then I also went to Pagano's. That was the other place I was told about. Pagano's, Max's, and, is another steak spot that I always forget about, but I ain't gonna sit there. I don't want to sit there and butcher the name. It's, I think it's over by Drexel. Can't think of, not Drexel, St. Joe's, I think. It's over that way.
Larry's, you talking about Larry's? That's near me.
Yeah, Larry's was banging, man.
Yeah, Larry's is good. I'm a Delisandro's guy, but I still love Max's. I used to live around the corner from Max's.
Really?
Yeah, I lived on 11th and Tioga, so Max's is right there in between. What is that? Erie and Broad and Erie, right there in Broad and Erie.
Broad and Erie.
Yeah, but it's more so like Germantown area right there. I was at 11th and Tioga, so I was 2 blocks away from Germantown Avenue, and then I had to walk 2 blocks up to get to Erie. That's how I went. So yeah, Max's, and I had a thing for going to the Clock Bar. I don't know if you got the.
Oh yeah,
okay.
No, I ate it. Look, I got my steak. See when you're in Philly, folks, if you're not from here, do not call it a cheesesteak. It's a steak. Got my steak, sat over in the Clock Bar, had me a drink, and also had my steak. And my thing is, I'm not promoting alcoholism. If you drink responsibly. But I just did it for the experience, man. It was a hell of an experience. And again, I happened to go when it was a ball game going. It was just pretty cool to just chill up in there and really hang and just kicking it with the folks that's from around the way, man. It was dope.
That was it. Just some folks from around the way. That's it. But I will say, I had a good time. And I'm glad your experience in Philly was good. And Max's was your spot. I'm glad about that. Pagano's, I ain't ate a Pagano's in years, man. But Pagano's always gave you too much steak for your steak. That's what it always was. Like, you needed more bread. because you got too much steak. That's what it was with Pagano. It was like there was too much steak.
Don't tell them extra steak either, because you know how it's gonna be. Soon as you open it up, as soon as you break it off and you get ready to take a bite, that whole sandwich just start falling apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's good though. Gotta give it to them. It's good.
Yeah. And Larry's, I go to Larry's. I go to Larry's at least like once a season. I'll get a cheesesteak from Larry's. When you live here, you don't eat as many cheesesteaks as people think.
Nah, you don't. That's what people don't realize. You don't. You mainly cook, or you're eating other things or whatnot. But every once in a while, when you got a taste for something greasy, you're gonna slide to get a steak. It's just what it is.
Yeah, most definitely. You're definitely gonna slide and get a steak. Gooey Louie's is a spot down South Philly I like. It's called Gooey Louie's. So if you ever slide through South Philly around like second and South. Yeah. Second or third in South Philly. You ever slide through that area? Go get you some
South Philly changed, man, after COVID, because a lot of businesses that were there are shut. They're not there no more. Like, when Jim's caught on fire, Jim's was the spot that I used to go to on South, and then go to Fat Tuesdays. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And when Jim shut down, it was just like, dang. But it was because it was a fire. But the one that I would go to, honestly, I go to the one on 63rd Street over in West when I used to kick it out that way back in around 2017. So I used to be around West. 62nd and 63rd Street.
That's a lease joint. West Philly Jim's. She thinks that's the best cheesesteak spot in Philadelphia. Most definitely. Yeah, she really believes that.
But that's what people don't realize, because you got to remember, you was in the belly of the urban community. I'm just keeping it a buck because I'm not going to down my people. You was in the middle of the urban community, and you had a lot of local legends, that would come through. They had pictures on the wall back in the day. I was like, dang, Wilt came through here. You had Sonny to come through here. You had some of the coldest Philly hoopers that literally spent time up there, man.
Sonny Hill. You used to see Sonny Hill a lot. Yeah. Now that he getting older, I barely see Sonny Hill. But you used to see Sonny Hill a lot. Sonny Hill had, people talk about AAU teams. I don't remember this AAU when I was growing up. I remember the Sonny Hill basketball league when I was growing up. Yeah. That's what I remember. And everybody wanted to make sure that they played in that Sonny Hill basketball.
But let me make sure I go ahead and put this out here. Your boy, shout out to Mr. John Chaney. But a lot of people are like, he from Philly. I'm gonna tell y'all just like this. I hate to break your heart. He is from Jacksonville, Florida, from the bottom. He is from Black Bottom out of Duval County. He never turned his back on that. Why do you think he went to Bethune-Cookman when he left Philly and could have went anywhere else? He went back home. He a Florida boy. He came up here and made Philly his home. I've had to have this discussion with a few folks. And there's a lot of great athletes that have come out of Duval County, and he was one of them, out of Jacksonville. He moved when he was around 12, 13 when he moved up here. And, his family, great migration during that time, came up here. They made a living, and he became a Philly hoops legend or whatnot, even though he was a Southern boy. So shout out to Mr. Rest in peace to John Chaney, man.
He coached at Gratz.
Yep. Chaney University
and Temple. And I was like,
HBCU love, baby.
Yeah. Now let's get into your love for these HBCUs. Let's get into that. Where did this come from, man? When I tell you, if I need to know anything about HBCU, you are the person I'm going to. I'm dead serious about this. Like, there are people in HBCUs I had no idea was there. And then I hear you say something about it, I'll be like, who's an HBCU? I didn't even know that.
So my love from HBCUs came from, when you look back at it, I knew about them when I was younger in high school coming up. I, went to some games and different things like that. My love really started for HBCUs around when I was getting ready to get out of high school, because at one point I wanted to go to Morehouse, but I didn't have the grades to get in. I sent a letter. I was crushed and, got injured. I was a football player. I got hurt. Had to rehab, work some jobs, played a little semi-pro before I went to the military. So the school that, so long story short, my semi-pro coach is really tight with Wesley McGriff. That's his first cousin. They're very tight. Wesley McGriff is the defensive coordinator at Auburn right now. He was at Ole Miss at the time. Ole Miss was going to give me a look because Coach and him were like this. And when my knee started getting, right before my knee started aggravating me again, when I was playing semi-pro, Houston Nutt got fired, and they fired everybody at Ole Miss. And then, ironically, when Coach Dawson Odoms, who was just, relieved at Norfolk State before Michael Vick took the job, shout out to Michael Vick for getting the HBCU gig and around the seven roads. Dawson Odoms was the coach at Southern University. His assistant happened to look at one of our games, and he found me. He sent me a letter and offered me a chance to compete for a scholarship. And I was really excited because I'm 22 at the time, getting ready to turn 23. And I'm like, I'm getting ready to get a chance to finish my degree. I can go to a HBCU and I can start. And my love even grew because they were going to give me a chance after I had went through playing ball, getting hurt, having to play semi-pro, out of high school, not making any money doing it, just because I loved the game and I was going to try to have film. They were going to give me a chance. And when they were going to give me that opportunity and I couldn't take it, it crushed me. Cried for days, went to the doctor's office. He said, hey, you either going to take a shot in your knee and walk with a limp for the rest of your life, or you can find something else to do. And that was when I chose to join the military. And from that day forward, it's always been SU for me. But I started doing research because I'm a football fan and, sports fan like you. And I looked at, and I already knew about all the black college football players that went to the NFL that really changed the transition of desegregation. Let's be real. That's the only reason why you see a lot of black players at big time schools, because most of your black players that were coming into the AFL and they were sliding into the NFL, they were better than most of these guys coming out of those schools. So a lot of these white colleges started poaching them. And for me, it's really big that we support our own, because white coaches, they wanted the talent, but they didn't really want to deal with us, and neither did the white schools. So HBCUs were the only place that gave us an opportunity. So for me, I got to give back to the people that were going to give me a chance to, hey, play football, get an education, and become a productive citizen. Why not give back to my own? Why not support my own? Because before desegregation happened, man, we had the black dollar in the community. We had so many things where we didn't need anybody. We didn't need any help. But when we started going elsewhere, it started to splinter. And for me, being a podcast host and a sports fan, and I feel like it's my obligation. Yeah, I'm going to talk Falcon football, and I'm going to talk about my Georgia Bulldogs, and other schools. But for me, I've got to be able to keep the legacy alive for HBCUs and tell these stories, because if I don't tell it, or anybody else who's into it doesn't tell it, how will people know where greatness comes from? That's how I feel about it. So it's always not just sports, but also the history of people that went to HBCUs that have woven the fabric of this country with blood, sweat, and tears and hard work. That's why it's important to me. Hopefully that answered your question on that, because I can go on HBCUs all day. You're muted, bro.
My fault. I was 2 HBCUs I thought about joining when I was younger. The one HBCU was Norfolk State. That was the first one. The second one was Cheney. Those were the 2 HBCUs I thought about joining. Norfolk State was first because I had wanted to go, I wanted to venture off. I didn't want to be inside the city and nothing like that. Mm-hmm. Then I realized my grades wasn't that good. So then I was like, I should try Cheney. And I really didn't give Cheney that much of an effort. I just always thought they should have just took me just because. Like I was one of them arrogant guys. You should have just took me just because. Why I gotta give you all this stuff? You need this, that, a letter from the principal. And the crazy thing is, the principal gave me a letter.
Wait a minute. Now I'm looking at you like you crazy right now, because I had in high school, we had a coach that was just like Varsity Blues. Adam Geis. Yeah, I throw his name out there. I put a name on it. I'm not scared to. He ended up having to resign this year, so I don't give a damn. Coach Geis screwed over a lot of kids. I was one of them, and it was a ton of kids. Like, it's when you look at the talent that came out of Sandalwood High School. Maurice Wells went to Ohio State, and Chocolate Girl know about Mr. Wells. He was a baller.
I know Maurice Wells.
Yeah, everybody know about Mo. That was my boy. That's my teammate. We still talk now. Beanie Wells and all of them was up there. And I'll say this, man. When you look at it, we had that coach that was throwing away our letters. He was bad-mouthing us to scouts. So people don't really believe it, but a lot of this goes on for a lot of high school kids. A lot of kids don't get opportunities because coaches do some dirty stuff behind closed doors. It's not always about what you can do physically on the field. It's also a political game, and I didn't understand that until I got older. You got to understand, if you don't know how to play the game, or you're one of these kids that coaches don't want to help get out of there, they can screw you to where you can't do anything. People don't understand the power of that tongue and the swipe of the pen. Very, very dangerous. I just can't believe you. Oh
no, I'm telling you the truth, man. Cheney. Okay, to us, if you from Philly, Cheney was known as the party school, though. That's what it was known from. So if you from Philly, you've been to a party at Cheney. And the party at Cheney ain't nothing organized, okay? It is literally you in the basketball gym, somebody cut the lights off, and there's a radio playing. That was a Cheney party, all right? I went to a Cheney party, okay, at about 12, 13 years old. My dad was dating this girl. Her son played basketball for Cheney. Now, here's the bad thing about this. I don't remember her son's name, nor do I remember the girl my dad dated at the time. Like I said, but I'm about 12, 13. So I go to the game with him because I like to watch basketball. I like the atmosphere. You know what I mean? I like the college look. I love the college cheerleaders.
Of course.
Let me tell you something. I love the college cheerleaders. It's okay.
Of course.
I ain't gonna lie. If it was hump day, we was gonna be getting busy. That's what let me let you know. All right. But anyway, listen. So there's a party going on afterwards. And it's right after the game, and they was like, they asked him, "Yo, you going to the party? Going to the party?" He like, I got my youngin with me. It's like, man, bring him too. He's like, you want to go to the party? Yeah, I'm going to the party. What's up? I went to the party. Changed my life. You hear me? Changed my life. So then I'm thinking, I'm the youngest one in the party. I see two other girls I go to school with at this party.
I can see it now. You starting trouble.
This ain't. I'm telling you the truth. This ain't nothing like, going to Cheney was considered like the urban. We can't say those bad words. The urban, high school. Next level of a high school. That's what it was. But see, if I would have sat back and I really would have thought about it, and I'm not dissing Cheney because Cheney's actually way better than what I thought it was when I was younger. Because I got to work at Cheney a couple years before a year or two before the pandemic. And I realized Cheney is a great institution. I seen everything I need to see about Cheney and said, I really dropped the ball. When I got there and I got seen everything, I was like, I really dropped the ball at 18 by not going to this HBCU. And they ain't even asked me for a lot, but they just asked me to do these couple things, and I'd have went to Cheney. And I really dropped the ball by not going to this HBCU. I really missed out on a real good experience. All that because I was being cocky saying I'm better than a D2 school.
Man, I would have played anywhere, and I tell cats this all the time. I would have played anywhere for nothing because my love of the game. I'm wired different, and I tell cats all the time, man. And when you speak about it, I saw what Ernest was saying. He talked about HBCUs. Here's the thing: most HBCUs they were established during the time where we had no access to education. And a lot of them that were started in the 1800s and then early 1900s or whatnot were mainly there for trade schools to teach blacks how to have a trade and to be able to make some money. And then you had some that were also teaching them how to become teachers and pretty much helping out with the community, doctors, lawyers. We pretty much had our own stuff. Now, they weren't establishing them on the West Coast like that because a lot of us weren't on the West Coast until the migration started happening. You know what I mean? And a lot of our folks is down south, and they ended up moving just like up here in Philly. I sit back and I listen to how your dialect is. When you guys get mad or something comes out, you hear a bit of a twang, and I say, yeah, they still got a little bit of that South in them, even though they East Coast. You hear it. Grandmama and granddaddy's blood then passed down.
I mean, Eric, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think everybody got some family in Virginia. I truly believe that. I truly believe everybody got some family in Virginia.
Or if it's not Virginia, y'all got a lot of folks that come up from the Carolinas too.
Yeah, most definitely. But but like I said, I did make that mistake. I did drop that ball as a youngin. That's one of them regrets. It's two actually. I'm actually lying to you. There's two regrets I had. It's two. Cheney University and Dell State. I forgot about Dell State situation. Dell State,
man, Dell State is in the middle of nowhere.
You'd
have been far enough away and close enough to get back home, bro. Like seriously.
I hear what you're saying, but the Dell State situation was our assistant principal. Let's see, I'm messing up names tonight. This ain't my day. Messing up names today. But our assistant principal,
early in the morning. You good?
Yeah, but our assistant principal knew the people at Dell State. So it wasn't nothing but her to make a phone call to get you to Dell State. The college I ended up going to didn't even have I ain't even gonna say it's college. The extracurricular school I ended up going to didn't even have a football team.
You could have went to Delaware State, right? Not literally about an hour and a half or an hour 30 minutes up the road from Philly. Far enough to go away from home, but close enough for you to just jump in the car and get back. Right. I'm just looking at you. But you know what? We all
and visited Dell State years later. It was like, yeah, I missed out on something nice here. Like Dell State was nice. You know what I mean?
And speaking on these HBCUs, just think about it. Now, I know a lot of people are all hyped, and I am too. I love the fact that a lot of former ball players are coming back and giving back to these to get an opportunity, and they're trying to help these kids out. But, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Vick, Deion Sanders, Deshaun Jackson weren't the first former pro players to go coach at an HBCU. Matter of fact, a man that helped us get 5 national championships, Mr. Pete Richardson, who just got into the HBCU Hall of Fame December the 13th. Shout out to Coach Richardson. 5 national championships with Southern University. But he also played in the 60s with the Buffalo Bills with James Shaq Harris out of Grambling State, O.J. Simpson, Marlon Briscoe. He played with those guys up there before he hurt his knee. And Alvin Wyatt, Larry Little, who we did an interview with, one of the greatest guards that ever played in the game, helped the Dolphins go 17-0 in 1972. He coached for Bethune-Cookman, his alma mater, and we had him on the show. And then he also coached a couple of other schools too, but he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, if you look at it, Billy Joe, who coached at FAMU, played for the New York Jets, got a ring, and then he ended up being an assistant coach for your Eagles and helped them get to a Super Bowl because he was a running back coach during 1980 with Wilbur Montgomery. Yeah, I know about your history, a little bit about your Eagles history, and it's so many guys that have done it. The problem is now a lot of people that didn't know about it think that that's just starting. Like, no, man, it's been going on. Doug Williams, that's another one. So, for me, when I talk to people a lot, I got in an argument with a brother at the barbershop the other day. He was trying to say Prime is the first to do it. I said, I want you to really go back and look at that. And he told me, I bet you $100. I said, listen, I don't want to take your money today. But I said, if you're willing to give it to me, go right ahead. So he looked, he didn't know Doug Williams did it. He didn't know Doug won a couple of championships at Grambling. He didn't know about all those other names that came through. So it's crazy when we look at our history as athletes, and then when we come back and give back. I just hate how a lot of the board of directors and those people in the front office do these folks when they bring in money to these schools.
They I don't know what they're looking for at this point, but I'm just hoping all of those guys end up successful. That's what I'm going to say. I just hope they end up successful and Shady McCoy wants to go to Howard University, so I hope all those guys end up successful. That's all I'm going to say. But now, back to you podcasting, right? So
Okay.
The girl got you the LLC, got you together and shot. And listen, let me say, first of all, shout out to her, because there's nothing better than a woman actually putting that muscle behind you, letting you know this is what you need to be doing. I'm supporting you. I got you. Do what you need to do, babe. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to her for that.
Yep. Miss Tamika Scarborough, I appreciate you, baby. I see you when you get off work today. She working today. So she's listening to the interview. So, I got to make sure I throw the name out there, because she's like, you did the interview and didn't say my name? Nope, I said it. I ain't scared to say it. It's cold out here today in Philly. It's going to be 5 degrees tomorrow. I'm good. Yeah. I ain't trying to get out the house.
No.
Stop clowning though. That's my baby though. But honestly though, when you look back at it, so she gives me that. Me and my guys, we were already working on a lot of things, And the first 2 interviews that I had, my old semi-pro coach, and he actually works for Militech now. That's actually one of these companies that's getting ready to take over with putting tablets on the sideline, equipment, and things like that. He coached me, but he also runs a women's tackle football league too. He's also part of that. So he was my first interview. And this one, we were just on Facebook. And then the second one was my godfather, Dr. Melvin Pender Jr. If you don't know about the 1968 Olympics, Dr. Melvin Pender Jr. got a gold medal running in the 4x4. He's good friends with John Carlos and Tommy Smith and John Carlos. And that's the infamous Black Power sign at the Olympics in 68. He was a part of that team. But he also ran in 64. And he's the first, he was the first man to get called out of war, because he was fighting in Vietnam at the time. The president called him and said, hey, you're going to run in the Olympics or whatnot. And he was officer at that time, pulled him out of war to run in the Olympics in 64 and 68. So no one else has done that. But getting back to it, those were the interviews that started kicking everything off. But me doing stuff for the Falcons, it was more so I just had to have a platform. I wanted to talk about the team that I've grew up rooting for, the team that, that caused me the most pain instead of joy. You know what I'm saying? Even when they're giving me moments of it, I'm going to talk about it. But for me, sports has always been a big part of my life. And me doing a podcast and talking with you like this is normal. I do this in the barbershop, easy. So it was just something that it was a God-given ability to be able to hold a conversation, because people don't understand. It's not as easy as you think to just sit on the microphone and just talk. You have to have your facts right. You have
charisma.
to have, because you can sit back and be like, the Atlanta Falcons won today 24-21. And I mean, you literally can lose your audience easily if you don't have something to bring to them, or you don't have validity, or as we said, you just being somebody that's straightforward. People are going to have a perception of you regardless, but you got to give them something to enjoy and entertain. And that was something I never saw myself doing, but I enjoy being on the camera talking sports with people. That's
good. That's good. Now, here's the thing that I always talk about, right? And I want to give Sam Sports BJ, I know he's listening, I want to give him all the credit in the world. I get tired of being a producer. There is times that I just want to come in and be the talent, do my 8 escape. You understand me? That's what I be wanting to do. Explain to people the level of being a producer and what has that brought on to you and made you better. You know, how did it start from the beginning and then the
Well, I'm taking the day off. I'm just gonna tell you right now, I'm taking the day off today. I'm not streaming this to my channel. Normally I would, but it's like, man, no, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the Ignorant Thinkers podcast. I definitely love what y'all do over here, bro. And even though we have 2 different teams, I love Talk Yo Ish Tuesday. That's my favorite session right there, watching y'all go at it. But getting to it, when you see people like that, and I'm just gonna use your show as an example. When you look at how they come on with the energy and they have a lot of fun and different things, the first thing you can't do is fake chemistry. You can't fake it. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, it's not going to last. The second thing you have to do is understand that sound checks have to be done. You have to make sure your equipment is right. You have to make sure that the stuff that people don't see, you know what I'm saying? You have to have everything right behind the stage to make the show enjoyable. It's a lot that goes into it, especially with a sports show. You have to have your facts. You have to have reputable sources that you get your information from. And not just that, then you got to worry about the cost of the equipment that you're using or whatnot. When stuff goes out, you got to replace it. Outside of replacing that, you got to look at the fact that the services that you use, like I'm just using StreamYard as an example, they went up on price this year. So you have to think about trying to get a sponsorship. There are so many things that you deal with when it comes to making sure that you have the right personnel that you're working with, that people don't kill your show, because there are people that will actually kill the energy of your show. So and then, you know, I started off writing scripts at first. I had to change that. And it was like, you know what? The scripts was cool, but I got to the point where I was like, bump it. You know what we're going to do? We'll bring out topics. And what we do is not just the topics. We're going to also just let everybody be who they are. Get comfortable. We're going to talk like we're in the barbershop, but we're going to have some decorum with what we do. So it's different, bro. It's different when you're in the driver's seat and you gotta be the maestro of everything. And you get pulled in about 12 different ways while you're trying to do one different task, while you're trying to do one task or whatnot. So it's not easy, but it's rewarding when you're having people to support what you're doing. So being a producer, and it's hard. It's not easy. It's hard. And if you don't have your mind right, you know you're not gonna make it, and you don't have the determination, because you start off slow. Everybody starts off slow because no one knows who you are, and it gets depressing, and it gets tiring. But once you start gaining traction and people watch, man, it makes it all worth it.
You're absolutely right about that. Now, let me know about some things that you have you been through some trials and tribulations, whereas though, like, you know, some other podcasts that came by and, you know, let me just say it was hating, or, you know, throwing dirt on your name, or, you know, just out there doing things that, you know, like, man, why you going live at that time, man? It's the time I go live. But have you had any of that?
I'll tell you the truth. Here's a quote that I took, you know, from R. Kelly. He said this long time ago when Trey Songz came at him. How can I? Oh, yeah, and promotion too. I'm sorry. Thank you, Brandon. I almost forgot. You got to do commercials too to get your stuff out there. But when you talk about that, why does an elephant swat at flies? Flies fly around the stuff that stinks, right?
Yeah, elephants don't swat at flies.
And you don't swat at gnats. In other words, you don't focus on what everybody else is doing.
But have you had it, is what I'm saying.
I've had it. Oh no, I've had it. But here's the thing: I don't pay it no attention at all, because what's meant for me is meant for me. What's meant for you is meant for you. If you want to bring competition into it, okay, bring it. I was a defensive back. I dealt with competition every day. dealing with somebody coming at me. So it doesn't bother me. I like it because it pushes me to do better things and become great. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Now, me on the other hand, I've had it, but I've had it on many different occasions. You know, people get mad at me for going on at certain times. People got mad at me for being on certain shows. People got mad at me for winning awards.
Hey.
See, I say that with an S because they don't know I won 2 awards. They just know I won one of them. They don't know I won 2 of them. I actually won 2 of them back-to-back years. Best sports show, back-to-back years. And I wasn't even on the network the second year. I was only on it for the first year. Just to let, out here just to let people know. Won it back-to-back years. I ain't even asked for the trophy for the second year because I ain't care.
Congratulations on your awards. If I've never congratulated you on them, my brother.
No, listen, I'm thankful. But see, it wasn't
amazing that you were able
to
do that.
Okay, and mind you, we supposed to be a family. Supposed to be a family, all right? I win the best sports show from the family. It wasn't, yo, congratulations, man. Glad you got that joint, man. We got to acknowledge. See, it was more, how did you win over us? Who said you had the better show? Ain't no way. You must be having sex with her. That's what it was. That's the type of hate I was receiving.
Yeah, and one of the things is I was blessed, and like I said, right now we're not monetized right now. We've been doing this for a while. We've been independent for a while. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the things that I've been doing and the Magnificent Birdcage crew has helped out with a lot, we've really been able to just navigate through these waters because truthfully, man, we're still in the infancy stage. 2 years ain't that long on YouTube, but really we've been doing this since 2021. You know what I'm saying? But on YouTube, we've been around 2, getting ready to go on 3 years. So when you look at it, it's a bit of an infancy stage, and we just hit 700 subscribers yesterday. So when I say it's a process and it's a grind, like you have to stay relevant. But here's the other thing. You might not want to do business with people, but you're going to have to do business and network. Like me, I was against networking at first, bro. I didn't want to do that because I didn't want people stealing things directly but then I had to remember, you know what, they could just watch your show and just steal it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I also have to remember this, the way that you can stay relevant and like you're doing, you bring in different podcast hosts from different genres, and that's how you're staying relevant. You always have to be able to, I'm not saying change what you do, but you have to not be afraid to try new things for your show. That's the only way that you stay relevant.
Right.
And I was answering Sam's question because he asked, how do you stay relevant? You can't stay doing the same thing. You have to try different things. You have to bring different topics. And then here's the other thing. You also want to make sure that you give access to your fans. You want to try to make sure, you keep it limited, but you always want to give them a way to feel as if they're a part of what you're doing by giving them a platform to speak. That is how you stay relevant. Because again, you have TV shows that they don't give fans a platform. So all I can say is, man, that's always a beautiful thing when you can have interaction with people, and then when they see you in the streets, hey, so-and-so, da-da-da-da. Now, you speak to them.
It is definitely a good thing because I went to a spot this summer where I interviewed the guy, and I was actually at a spot that was in his town in like the middle of New Jersey, middle of New Jersey. Let me just say that. Where I think they only got like 2 police stations out there. Because all the cops seemed to know who exactly I was for that day was over, which was weird. And just let you know that. But it was they had a battle of the Giants versus the Eagles fans It's called the Battle of I-95. I was down there for that. E-Rock was there. I get there, E-Rock's there. E-Rock sees me and immediately says, "Man, what are you doing here?" I said, "Well, I got an invite." I got an invite from, I got an invite from Eagles Talk to come down here and actually, be part of this thing. He was like, "It's glad to see you." He said, "I'm glad to see you down here." He said, "This is my town. How you like my town?" He's like saying this is my town. I was like, I don't know too much of the town. He said, "Don't worry about it. Ain't much here. It's very quiet. This is it, though. This is what we do." So I was like, "All right, okay." And E-Rock got his whole family there. I'm talking mom, dad. His dad plays the drums. Mom was there. Brothers was there. Like the whole family's there. It was ridiculous. Like I was like, damn, this is really their town. And they really had a good time. And they was, like I said, they was happy to see me. And there's other people that won't say nothing to you. I've been, like I said, I've been to people's shows. I always tell a story. I've been to people's shows that got 100,000 followers, hundreds and thousands of followers. Let me just say that. Okay, almost 500,000 followers. They got a show in places. Okay, that's seating 200 people. Only 60 people showed up, and 40 of them is family.
Wow.
But
all I can say is wow with that, bro.
Good. But you telling me that but they didn't tell me. But you acting as though you too good to be out there shaking hands and kissing babies.
Man, that's I have no words for that because I'll say this, man. When you gotta show love,
as always. First of all,
you gotta show love.
Baltimore. Always.
Here's the thing: you gotta show love because I think the coolest thing for me is when I went to my first CIAA tournament last year. Shout out to Coach Anthony Blaylock, who just made the CIAA Hall of Fame award. Now he played for the Browns, played for the Bears, and also the Chargers during his career. And he got voted in. He came out of Winston-Salem State. And Pete Richardson, who coached at Southern, was his cornerback coach and D coordinator back in the day. So I got to go to the CIAA tournament. And the coolest thing was being able to network and meet some of the great legends, not just sports legends, but legends that are around. And then you had some networks that were there, and they showed love to me because Coach George Williams, legendary track and field coach, Hall of Fame, Olympics, and HBCU, he told him this young man here is like a son to me. He's got a podcast out. He does really good things, and he definitely highlights and marks HBCUs on top of talking about regular athletes and having them on. And I got so much love just from them knowing that I'm up and coming and I'm trying to do some things, but I'm also trying to show love to our community and build that up, as well as, I'm still going to talk about the regular stuff that goes on. Can't just, can't just be totally whole urban. I love my people and I'm showing it, but I gotta be honestly, you gotta play the game if you get what I'm saying. Gotta play the game with something.
I know what you mean. You gotta appease the all crowds. You can't just appease
exactly. So getting love shown to you, and I was taught that, anywhere you go, you show respect, and you show respect until you get disrespect. That's how I was brought up. And they showed a ton of love, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll do it." So I'm working on some former HBCU legends, trying to get them on the show, and they were showing love. And then they said they love the fact that we show Black colleges love, but not just that. And the thing that they also told me, Mr. Steve Weish, Mr. NFL Network, said, "Look, always don't forget who you are, but you're going into a business where it's not many of us in this business, and you have to be able to show love to all walks of life, even if you got to grit your teeth some days to do it, if you get what I'm saying."
Yeah,
even when you don't get that. So if you want to make it, this is how you do it. But I love the fact that they showed you love, bro. That was dope. That was really cool that you got
most definitely they show love. And that's why I said It all depends on where you go. Like I said, when I go to Baltimore, Jersey, ATL, or June's in house. Like I said, Jersey, go to Jersey, Baltimore, ATL. It's
Hey,
always love.
hold up. If you gonna say ATL, bro, this is what you got to do. Hey, man,
Oh man, I gotta
give
say
me
ATL ho, ATL ho,
ATL, ho. Yeah, you
ATL
gotta
ho.
get it to me one time, dog. Yeah, if you gonna do it, you gonna do it right. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Don't come in here half-assing with that.
gotta do it. ATL ho.
ATL, ho, let's go. Hey,
Yeah.
man, we got the clown about that one though. But I wanted to ask you a question, man, because I watch your show and I
Okay.
love what you guys do, and y'all have a dynamic all the way around with what you handle every day as a podcaster and understanding the struggles and some of the hard days that people don't see. What continues to keep you motivated to becoming great or finding and establishing greatness with your platform?
Things that motivate me to become great or finding greatness within the platform. I try to elevate myself to be the talented guy each and every show. There has been some times where I have been like dead dry. Like it's 52 Talk Years Tuesdays a year, all right? 52 Talk Years Tuesdays a year. I'm gonna be honest with you. At least 45 of them, I'm giving you the best that I got. For 45 of them. Now, there's 7 of them where as though I'm not really you're not getting all of me. It may not be my day. You know what I mean? I may not have it. But I want to produce a show that I don't always have to be the main guy you came to see. You understand what I'm saying? Like you'll watch First Take, and people came at first to see Skip Bayless, and Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. But now it's so much other talent there. Stephen A. Smith ain't really got to be there because now you're starting to like what you hear from a Dan Orlowski. You're starting to like what you hear from a Molly Coram. You're starting to hear what you like from the newest member, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp. You understand what I'm saying? Like you're starting to, Kendrick Perkins is over there saying something like, "Did Kendrick Perkins just say that?" Yeah, Kendrick Perkins just said that. Big Perkins just said that. And 2 biscuits, all right? This is Kendrick Perkins said. But it's been entertaining to a point like, and I'm not gonna lie to you. There was a point that I felt as though I had it enough to the point that I didn't even have to be there.
Yeah.
And there was a point. It was a point in time that Tokyo is Tuesday was to a point that I had it enough that I didn't have to be there. And I could go and travel and do what I need to do and try to get as many people to be on Tokyo Ish to keep the show going, but yet keep my main core people there. But
I told you I'm gonna support you as long as you have this out. I'm gonna always support it, bro. Even if I can't catch
I
the show,
appreciate it, and
if
I'm
I
always
can't catch
going.
the show live, guess what? At work, instead of me listening to the radio, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn on my phone. I'm gonna hit Talk Your Ish, and or the Side Jawn or whatever. Hit that, turn up the volume, hit that
And
like button, and then keep
I
it
do the
moving. Like,
same. So a lot of times I tell y'all I watch y'all show, and y'all be like,
yeah,
"Oh man, you ain't comment." I'm in a place where I can't comment.
exactly.
I can't do this.
As
Can't
long
do
as you
that.
hit the like button, that's enough. Every time you hit that like button for people on YouTube, it helps. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that most people don't understand. Is not just you showing eyes, hit that like button, because the more likes you get, the more opportunities you might have, because it's in the algorithm to get you to get monetized and get money for doing your show. But
Yes.
you and it's free.
Yeah.
So
And OG, don't want to say this. OG, can't forget about that California love. I had good times, all times in California, and it
same here.
always end well.
What part of
My
Cali
LA
were you in?
My LA situation didn't end well. You know what? We here. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it too. My LA situation, it did not end well. All right. It started off almost like peaches and cream, but them peaches went sour and that cream devoured. All right, just want to let you know. Okay, so we go to LA 2 years ago to go to the BET Awards. 2 years ago, go to LA. We had we out there. My producer, supervisor, I would say the man with the plan, BJ Samuel said, yeah, we need to go to LA, go get these interviews on the red carpet at the BET Awards, okay? BJ said, I know a guy. This was he said. He said, I know a guy. I said, all right, bet. I'm going with you. We're going to go down there. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. All right? I'm not going to lie to you, Ryan. This might have been the last little $700 I had. All right. Cost about $450 to get there. And the rest of the money I had to spend the money. Like, this was it.
Yeah.
And until the next payday. This was it. All right. We get down there. Like I said, it started off cool, but then things went left. The guy that was supposedly going to get us these interviews on the red carpet and all that, he was talking big game and everything. You know what I mean? He knew this person, knew that person. He want to interview with Nas right now. You know what I mean? He doing this, doing that. So Kanye West had a party that night. Kanye West had a party that night in LA. All right. This is the Friday night. We didn't get the Sunday to the BET Awards. We on Friday night. Just want to let you know that. Kanye West got a party that night. So the guy said, well, listen, y'all can wait in line if y'all want to, but I'm VIP. All right. I'm going to get to the front of the line. I said, you VIP? You going to get to the front of the line? Yeah. First of all, Ryan, you can't tell me no shit like that. I've been clubbing for a long time. I know how to get to the front. All right. I'll get you. Yep. I can get you to the front. Don't tell me all you need to do is get to the door. I'll get you to the door. I'm gonna skip the line, king. All right. I'm skip the line, king. I'll get you to the door. I get this motherfucker right to the door. He can, if he spit, he can spit at the door. That's how close we was, all right? He can spit at the door. He waiting for his homie to come out. I know this game. You waiting for somebody to come out and bring us into this club? We ain't getting it. That's what I'm saying in my head. I'm like, we in LA, we ain't in Philly, so I'm be cool. Nah, man, be cool. So we waited about a half hour. About a half hour went by. all these people went in, went out, went in, went out. The price then jumped. The price started at, I think, $100 for a table, $250 for a table, $500 for a table. I said, hold up, though. What are we doing? Now I'm like Jadakiss. What are we doing here? Like, now I don't know exactly what was said after that, but something the bull whispered to BJ and was saying that he can't get everybody in. He only can get 4 people in, but it's like 6 of us. It's like 6 of us. He can't get all of us in. He only get like 4 people, but it's like 6 of us. So we was like, all right, man, we leaving. We left. We get to the parking lot. He leaving too. He ain't even going.
Wow.
I said, this is a fraud network, man. I smell a fraud coming. But me, I know you're not gonna ruin my trip. I'm gonna have me a good time.
You're gonna find something to get into. You're not spend all that money to get out there. Shoot.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna find something. I'm gonna have me a good time. That's me. That's how I always been. I'm just built like that. I'm gonna have a good time. If I just go outside, walk around, and see some people and talk, I'm gonna have a good time. It's just me.
And you talk about Cali, man. So you was in SoCal. I was in the Bay Area, the Yay area, baby, for 6 months when I was going through the.
I was in the Bay Area.
I was around freaking where is it? I was around Santa Rosa, but I was stationed in Petaluma. So we was going through our training at that time. Yep, was in Petaluma. Used to spend a lot of time in East Oakland. You would drive over to East Oakland, kicking in Santa Rosa. Also, ventured into Frisco, but I spent more time in East Oakland and doing First Fridays or whatnot back, when I was there. First Friday is one of the dopest things out there. You see any and everybody, is food trucks everywhere. And like I said, I always been a Bay Area fan. Always love the Bay. It's just a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be real with you on this. They about getting money out there, but they also show love. You know what I mean? That's their thing. Now, you know what it is in LA. You know, you rocking the wrong, you rocking. Now, they don't mess with you if you wear HBCU stuff in LA. That's something I learned.
They really don't mess with you at all.
No, I mean, if you come out there just looking
day,
to have a good time and stay out the way, they cool. But I'm saying, like, if you rocking like hats or different things like that, if it's black college stuff, they won't mess with you. Like me, I can't wear no Georgia Bulldog stuff out there because they got gangs affiliated with that. So it's a different vibe. Like in the Bay, you don't have to worry about it, but you go to LA, you gotta be careful about what you wear, boy. That's some dangerous stuff.
Well, the next day, after that Friday, I went down to go take a picture at Nipsey joint with his memorial at. It's funny that you say that because I get out the car because I wanted to go take a picture of Nip, you know what I mean, of the Marathon Grill first. Then I seen the painting that they put on the wall, the mural. I seen that on the wall, and I was like, I'll take that picture. I get out the car. Another car comes up. 3 dudes get out the car. Right? So June like, yo, Dan, oh, shit. He said, then I thought they was going to shoot you. Then I didn't know what was going on, man. He said, I was nervous. I was like, what you mean? He was like, man, I didn't know what was going on, man. They jumped out the car. You jumped out the car, and they jumped out the car. I was like, oh, man, they about to get there. I was like, no, we good. We good. We was all just taking pictures. That's all we did. We all just took pictures. That's all we did.
And they don't mind that. Take your stuff and get out the way because you already know, like, that environment is different. And like the thing is, if you are out of town, it's chill. You know what I'm saying? Out there in LA. But the Bay Area was just, it's just a different vibe, bro. It's much love out there, but you still gotta watch. You still gotta, keep your head on the swivel. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely a lot of love out there in the Bay. So I had fun out in Cali when I was there for 6 months. That was just different. It was a different experience. Too expensive to live for me. Thank God I was on the military now.
I was in the Bay Area as well. I was out there in Richmond. Stayed in Richmond for I think about like 6 days. I think it was 5 days. We stayed in Richmond. 4 or 5 days. Don't quote me on that.
I partied there one time, never again.
What happened in Richmond?
So me, I already know about Richmond. I had one of my partners or whatnot that I was stationed with. We were going through A school at the time. He was getting ready to get stationed. He was getting ready to get stationed in Coos Bay, Oregon, and he was from the Bay Area. You know what I'm saying? So he goes there. And I forget, it's a little hole in the wall joint we went to. Bruh, we almost got robbed. Walking out, getting ready to go to the car. Just cats pulled up in a white van. They done jumped out little vultures. And I'm like, I got my little 9 on me or whatever. I ain't supposed to have one in Cali, but hey man, I grew up around Atlanta and I grew up around Jacksonville, Florida. And I can tell you right now, First 48 is real in Duval County. It's a lot of great things out there. But again, I grew up around it. So, hey, I'm looking, it's no way in the world. I got 4 big AKs on me. And I got this little 9mm. I ain't doing nothing with that. You know what? I just went on ahead, and here's the bad part. The dude that tried to rob us eventually popped out. He talking about something. I ain't gonna put my boy name out there, whatever, but he was like, hey. And he was like, really, cuz? And it was his cousin. He saw my car, but didn't know old boy was rolling with me. And what saved us was that was his cousin. His cousin was out there in the streets, literally was gonna rob us. And then he said, man, y'all need to get up out of here, man. People moving and shaking right now. And then I looked and he looked at me. He said, I see you got that tool on you. I said, hey, if I'm going to go out, I'm taking one of y'all with me. And he just started laughing or whatever, and they let us slide. So I'm like this, man. Exactly. My granddaddy said, you got a better chance in front of the judge than you do the Undertaker. So, but it was, like I said, it was a cool vibe. But after that night, I said, nah. If I ain't got my big stick on me, which I couldn't, I couldn't have that on the base, but I had my, I was able to tuck my thing up under the car. But man, it was a different experience. I just say that, man. You can't be in a situation like
you
that.
definitely
Bro.
from down south. Y'all be
Yeah,
quick to
I
say.
don't play
Hey,
that, fam.
my granddaddy said, y'all be quick to say that, man. Hey, grandpa told me, keep the thing on you. Like, y'all be
Hey,
quick
man,
to say that's
you got to keep that tool on you, bro. Like up here in Philly, it's much love, but hey, I'm letting you know now, I do keep that tool. So it ain't gonna be nothing sweet over here. So if I get caught, if I get got or whatever, just know that somebody coming with me.
Yeah, most definitely. Most
Appreciate
definitely,
it,
man.
dog.
Yeah, but yeah, through all that, like I said, I give a shout out to June, man, because we had to pivot. We had to pivot when we was in Southern Cal. I had to pivot. June knew a guy that was working actually for the BET, that was working for BET, and he was there, and he told us to come down to the W Hotel. You come down to the W Hotel, everybody who was everybody at that BET Awards comes through the W Hotel. This was walk. So you got to see everybody. And it was like seeing, black excellence and beauty all in one spot. It was nothing but a great thing. So like I said, it started off good, ended bad, but we made the most of it. I ain't give the whole full story because I'll say that for BJ because that's his story. I may miss some parts. That's what I'm gonna say. But that's his story. And he said it was the Ritz Carlton. I swore it was the W. But
no, I got you on that, man. It is
yeah,
but I ain't
but
gonna
in
lie to you.
podcasting, you just want to try to get better and better each and every time. And promotion is the biggest thing. And the one thing I tell people is, well, even though there is no more TikTok, but I'm gonna tell you how I told people. You need to promote on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, which I call Meta, because that's how them
Yep.
checks come. They come as Meta. I call it Meta. And you need to promote on YouTube. All right. That video that went viral on TikTok, put it on Instagram and Facebook and put it on YouTube. If those videos keep going viral, you'll end up with 3 different checks. Just like that. Now you got 3 different checks off the same video.
And that's dope.
That's what a lot of people just sit here and they like to argue about. Like, no, you gotta when you do your show, you gotta cut clips. Because people want to know what you're talking about. And they ain't got time to be watching a whole 2 hours of you. But they'll watch a 60-second clip.
Yep. And and trust me, I'm working on getting more of those right now because I actually have to do some editing today as we speak before I start cleaning out the library for the season. I gotta have some clips or whatever for the season, man. So I gotta put some stuff together. You were supposed, and here's the thing, man. We got to we're gonna try to have a party next year. You know how we did it this year with the Falcons. We held a party called the Hunting Grounds. That was named our party. We held that up in Atlanta watching the Saints and the Falcons. And luckily we won that game because I'd have been pissed if we'd lost to them. That's like y'all losing to the Cowboys. It's a long week when you lose. So yeah, so you get where I'm coming from with that. So when I say everybody was partying up in there and you would have had a great time, you gotta come next year when we do. We're gonna figure out what game we're gonna have, and I'll let you know way ahead of time because we're gonna probably start planning this thing during the summertime just to get everything put together like we did, and it'll give you some time so you can get your flight, get everything set up. So when we had a party or whatever, you can just come through. And look, you ain't gotta be a boss. You can just sit down, chill, eat you some wings, watch the game, and just cut up with us.
That's it. That's all I'll be trying to do.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna talk some trash, but yeah,
we ain't worried about you talking trash. Look, right now you can't say nothing to me. Look, if y'all win the Super Bowl, guess what? We beat the Super Bowl champs during the season, so I got that bragging right. Hey, you can't say nothing to me right now.
Oh man, somebody hit the button in this show, man. Here we go, man.
Hey, I gotta give you your credit. You did show up after the game, as you said. You come to my show and take your whipping like a man. I told you was gonna take that whipping earlier during the season. The only one that's got bragging rights over me right now is Chocolate Girl. See, I had to come in there, and that was a hard pill to swallow. She sat there like this here. You showed up, huh? I ain't finna run. Go ahead and get it out. I ain't gotta say that. We ain't even score a touchdown on y'all and still beat y'all ass. Man. I had, and trust me, that cut worse than anything. But getting you, I got one part of Pennsylvania, so I'm okay. And the part that I live in, that's the best part. So, you know, coworkers, I ain't gonna lie, coworkers been messing with me. Talking about, yeah, y'all blew that 3A division lead. I said, so if y'all win the championship, y'all got it, but we kicked y'all ass in y'all house. So I don't want to hear nothing from you. And they don't say nothing. They just say, you know what? We got to give you that. But I know we go. But look, I know when we play y'all again, we know it's gonna be. It's gonna be a fight. We know that. But y'all got a chance to. I'm gonna be real with you. I got to give it to you, man. From that ball game, y'all figured it out. And you know, for you being a Tennessee fan, you know what I'm saying. You got all them Bulldogs producing for you, my boy.
Sick 'em. Yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah, you can say sick 'em now because they helping your damn Eagles.
Yeah, sick 'em.
Man, I can't wait to like I said, today it's gonna be a lot of good football going on. You know what I'm saying today, and even though my squad ain't playing, I ain't gonna lie to you. Look, I already had planned the barbecue today anyway, so I got ribs going on the grill. I know you don't eat pork, so my lady
ain't no slime.
I don't know. It's a lot of brothers in Philly that say, "No, don't touch the swine."
Because there's a lot of Muslims out there.
Oh yeah,
a lot of Muslims. That's what it is. So, nah. I do eat pork. I ain't gonna be able to make it to your drink today, because I got to get myself together and go to work tonight. So I ain't gonna be able to make it. But I do eat pork.
I would have saved your plate.
Yeah. And you got to watch them closet. You got to watch them closet pork eaters. All right. They usually come out around the holidays.
They talk all that mess.
Yeah, they usually come out around the holidays. Around the holidays, they usually. Oh, I didn't know that was ham. That was so good. Yeah, well, we know.
Oh, I thought you had beef. I thought those was beef ribs. Oh, them
yeah.
Kind of tender. Be like on Welcome Home Roscoe Jenkins when he eat that rib.
Yeah.
It's wine. Hold on. Is what is it? How did they say it? It's divine and it's right on time. Give me some of that swine. Give me that Forrest Whitaker.
That's what I always
say. He said, "Give you that. Hey, give you that Forrest Whitaker eye." Hey man, I love it.
Hey Ryan, listen. Tell people where they can find you at. All right, because
you guys can find myself and the Magnificent Birdcage crew on the Birdcage LLC on YouTube and also on the X platform as well. So we're on normally after Falcon games, before Falcon games for a pregame show, which we call the pregame meal. And if we win the game, we call it the party line. That's the post-game show. If we lose, it's called the benediction. And it's a depressing show. Well, it was happy for us, but it was a benediction for this brother right here when he came on. But and then we also have our regular show on Thursday at 8 p.m. Every Thursday, 8 p.m. So we're trying to get everything squared away. We got some interviews that are going to be taking place.
They asked you a question. They said, "What you doing this Wednesday at 8 p.m.?"
I have nothing planned on Wednesday. What's up?
Okay, they want you to come on Wild Wednesday. BJ will be messaging you shortly with the information that he wants you to come on Wild Wednesday. Wild Wednesday. We're gonna have you on it.
Oh Lord, y'all about to get me cussed out and y'all about to get me rowdy as hell. I already see this now.
I think so. Just a couple of debate segments that we go through. Nothing too major, but I think so. He said it's the biggest show on the network.
I definitely appreciate y'all showing me some love today. Interview was awesome. I enjoyed working with you today. I always do, my brother. And as we say on my show, man, it's just how I go, man. You either get right or you get left. My dog Dennis right here getting you right so your ass don't get left. So we definitely appreciate you coming through, tapping in with us today, this morning or whatnot, before you had your coffee.
Hey, with that being said, God bless. Great day.